One haiku call reads your diff, decides how to split it into commits, then runs the git commands based on its own read. I shipped that on purpose last episode, called it the anti-pattern on camera, and it sat in this folder unfixed for a week. Today that one call splits into 3. Live, in this same folder, no cuts. First, an agent that only reasons about your diff. Second, an agent that only executes the plan it's handed. Third, a hook sitting on every git command that doesn't care what either agent decided it was allowed to do. Discover used to be the whole job. One haiku call, reading the diff, grouping it, then running git commands off its own judgment. That's the exact shape episode 10 warned about. One file mixing workflow with reasoning, loading in full, whether you needed it or not. Now Discover barely does anything itself. It just hands off. It spawns discovery agent running on Sonnet, and that agent's only job is to look at your changes and return a commit plan as structured JSON, nothing else. It doesn't stage a file. It doesn't run one git command. Once you approve the plan, a second agent picks it up, execute agent, back on haiku, and its job is the opposite, stage the files, write the commits, exactly as specified. Same two models as before. The difference is which one decides and which one only obeys. That's the same pattern B shape from episode 11. Finally, the split this channel's argued for since episode 9, mechanical steps on haiku, synthesis on sonnet, never both in the same call. Except a fresh agent spawn starts with nothing in it. So where do the rules discovery agent needs, or the ones execute agent can't break, actually come from? A sub-agent doesn't inherit anything the parent skill already loaded. It starts cold every single time. That's why discovery agent's own definition explicitly preloads discover ref, a reference skill, the same way you'd brief a new hire before they start. That preload isn't free. Something like 300 to 500 tokens versus roughly 100 for just reading the file directly. Worth it though. Once more than one agent needs that same logic. Execute agent gets its rules the other way. Not a preload, a hard list. Its allowed tools are cd plus 5 git commands, add, commit, status, log, and branch. Nothing else exists for it to call. On top of that, sit 4 rules. It can't reason its way around. Never skip a hook with no verify. Never force pushover main. Never amend a commit that's already published. And never restore, reset, check out, or clean a tree just to make a mess disappear. A third agent, PR agent, gets the same shape again. Read-only tools, capped at 8 turns, drafts text only, never touches GH itself. 3 agents, 3 permission surfaces, none trusting itself with more than its own job. What actually happens? The instant one of them tries a git command, a rule was supposed to stop. Iron laws in a system prompt are still just words. The model reads, and might reason its way around anyway. What actually stops it is a hook sitting on every bash call before it runs. Quad Code's pre-tool use hook has 2 ways to block something. The blunt way is exiting with code 2. The other way returns a structured decision, permission decision deny, plus a plain language reason the model actually sees. That second form still works even with permissions bypassed entirely, which the blunt exit code doesn't guarantee. Committer's version checks every bash call for a raw git verb. If that command isn't coming from one of committer's own agents or skills, it denies it, with the message telling the model exactly why. Branch protection, staged file curation, and conventional commit validation all get skipped the moment you go around the plugin, and the message says so. Call the same command from inside execute agent though, and the hook lets it straight through. The rule isn't git commands are dangerous. It's raw git commands outside this pipeline are dangerous, and the hook is the only thing actually checking which one just happened. Not every hook in this plugin works like that. The stop hook fires right when Claude's about to end its turn. Gets about 15 seconds to act, and technically, a stop hook can refuse to let that turn end at all. Committer's version doesn't use that power. It checks whether there are uncommitted changes sitting in the repo. If there are, it injects a plain note back to the model instead of forcing anything. Here's what's uncommitted. Here's the skill that handles it, your call. Same underlying mechanism as the pre-tool use block, a completely different posture. Because forcing a commit at the exact moment someone's ending a session is worse than just reminding them. The third hook, session start, handles the housekeeping neither of the other 2 touches. Every time a session begins, it clears out any session state left over from more than 12 hours ago, which begs an obvious question. Session state that sticks around long enough to need cleanup has to live somewhere. Where does it actually live? A sub-agent spawned through the agent tool doesn't remember anything between calls, by default. Every invocation starts in a brand new context window, with zero memory of the last one, unless its definition explicitly sets a memory field pointing at a persistent directory. Discovery agent and execute agent don't set that field. So the current commit plan, the last known branch head, the flag that says skip committing for this session, none of that can live inside either agent. It lives in one file instead, commit.db.json, sitting outside any single agent's context, read and written through dedicated get, set, and delete scripts. A branch check reads it before touching anything. The stop hook skip flag reads it too. And session start, the hook from a second ago, is what actually prunes it once an entry is older than 12 hours. State, that has to survive past one agent. Spawn can't be trusted to the agent itself. It has to live somewhere neither agent owns. All 5 pieces are just claims until they run against something messy. Same scratch repo as before. Same tangled changes in one working tree. Nothing rebuilt to make this easier. Discover doesn't touch Git itself anymore. It spins up discovery agent, which reads the diff and comes back with a plan grouped into separate commits. Approve the plan and execute agent takes over. Stages each group, writes each commit, reports back account, nothing more. Push runs. PR agent drafts a title and body from the actual commit history, and the pull request opens with that draft attached. Still never touching GH outside the one agent that's allowed to? Try a raw git push from outside all of this, mid-session, and the hook stops at code, with the exact reason printed back. Same folder, same messy dip, same end result as last time. Every step in between now runs through something that isn't trusted to be right on its own. Subscribe if you want to know which layer actually stops a bad commit, the agent, the hook, or the file. Neither one gets to hood. This whole series lives in one playlist, from the orchestrator pattern to this video. Links in the description.